So I created a GitHub repository for people that are interested in learning more. It's pretty structured. I helped AI remember all the things that we did together and updated, and then put it all together within this repository so other people could use it. So the main thing that this does is it restructures the way that it calls agents and sub agents. So it has three agents that it typically would sign off on. It would be the domain and adapter agent, UI and docs, UA and security. So UI is user interface, and then UA is quality assurance. Within these, they have ownership. And what they own in this instance is domain and adapter. Hold on, I have to get some water. All right. So the domain and adapter agent, it owns the database, the Docker instance, all that stuff. The models, the business logic, and then the UI and docs owns the components, pages, and the documentation. And it's spun up if there's some kind of browser session needed. And then the UA, or sorry, the QA and security, it's used when there's multiple repos involved. And so it talks about how to structure a goal. And the main thing that you need to do with the goal is tell it the what. And then you got to tell it how should it meet these conditions. Because a goal will run continuously until it can't anymore. So you can tell it what to do, and then the last thing you tell it is how to measure that what you did worked. Because if you just tell it what to do, it's like, oh, make this thing, and then it'll make it, but it might not be good because it's just going to do whatever it wants. So you got to structure it and tell it, okay, this is how you'd validate that what you did was what I'm thinking that you should have done. And then from there, you can iterate. And then there's some verification gates that have been put in place. So this is the hex validate. So hex validate is what I think is the right way to think about architectural pieces within your platform. It kind of depends on what you're doing, but for a lot of stuff I'm doing, I want a hexagonal approach, which is similar to modular, but modular is different. Like modular is like, hey, I want to have multiple services instead of a monolithic code. Hexagonal is saying, hey, not only do I want modular services, but I want inputs and outputs to be these separate entities to where I could switch out something that I didn't want before, and I can plug and play technology. So if I wanted to change my infrastructure from this API to a whole different API, that's fine because it's not integrated anywhere else. It's just in that one spot. That's a really bad example, but it's really easy to switch technologies instead of, if it wasn't like that, it's a lot more work to set it up hexagonally, but it provides a rigid structure for AI agents to follow, which is very important because if it's not rigid, then it's hard to verify that it's working, and then it can spiral out of control.